Okay, now I can carry on for the next page. And this is the joy of liberation or samadhi. Actually, this is what I get this teaching from our masters for last couple of days ago, and while she's telling us that in the Lotus Sutra, and she gave us the meaning that the joy of the revelation of samadhi. Actually, when I read this samadhi, before I joined Tzu Chi, I thought to attend a samadhi, one must spend a lot of time in sitting meditation, and that by sitting in meditation, they can empty their minds of everything. So this is what I for my definition, so-called for the samadhi, the state of samadhi is to entering such a stillness stage. But of course, after I got a chance to listen to Master's teaching, this is what Master's taught us, that the cultivation, the meditation and samadhi is split into two parts, which is we call cultivation, contemplation. Is meaning of meditation, and the concentrating on the Dharma is the meaning of samadhi. Actually, it's quite profound, and for me, and it's not that easy. But yet, Master say, even though it sounds quite profound, but yet it's not too profound, nor is not too difficult. So, what does it mean? So, actually, Master say, we can practice the meditation of samadhi in our daily living, which is to regularly to do practicing by, get rid of the affliction or ignorance. And I think if we are concentrate, focus on doing something, this can be called we are on the state of samadhi as well. So there's the saying, when gathering wood and carrying water, water is a meditation. In Chinese, we say 跳彩运水不是彩. So Master say is all about living action. So today I would like to share two different perspective, or the two different view for my understanding for this what's so-called meditation of samadhi in different way of the Buddhist school of this practice. It's showing that this is the Hualien temple, which is the world famous as the home of Kung Fu, and those students monks before they can qualify as a warrior monks. Actually, they need to attend before they to become a pure practitioner attend as a warrior monk. So they have to mastering the Kung Fu to the level expected at the Hualien temple. It will take years for their dedication. So actually, for them, the Kung Fu is not just a martial art, but it's a spiritual practice. And actually, like the senior mentor of this monk say to this apprentice monk, saying that because there's one technique that he feel the most, and the mentors told him that I think that because you are struggling to do it well because of your heart is not at peace, your mind is not at peace, and telling him that you must focus on the present and try to to catch the point and do this. I think this is what for other Buddhist school temple and how they practice it. But I would like to back to what Master's teachers. Masters say for the couple of days, and Masters mentioned about for the Bodhisattva path, the way also can be a part of a samadhi. If we are able to succeed to eliminate the 5 desires, or we can distancing ourselves from the afflictions. So this is also a part of practicing meditation and samadhi as well. So, and Masters furthermore telling us that if we can contemplate every word that we speak or every action that we take, and in our mind, and Master say, we must constantly engage in this kind of thinking. So in the state of our mind, the thing we say and the conditions around us, we should clearly distinguish right from wrong. And is this something we should say, or is this something we should do? Or should our minds give rise to this affection or to these ignorant thoughts? So this is also considered as the very good way for us to practicing in our daily life. And Masters further give us the example. She say, let's see our living Bodhisattva, our volunteers, because with the Dharma in their heart, and they aspire and vow to practice among the people, regardless of the hardship. They are willing to put the Dharma into practice. And Masters take the example for Malaysia, the place called Tampin, which is there was a family that faced a great adversity. People who live in the village will despise them because this family, they are stingy. The family members, they are hard to get along with. Though this family, they are facing a great difficulties, but not only were they unwilling to accept the help from Tzu Chi, and they also abuse our volunteers verbally. So, but due to this reason, this family was unwelcome in the village and was much despised. Nonetheless, our volunteers are still decided to take on this case and take care of this family. And they began to visit this family until the family of this father has passed away. And yet our volunteers still carry on to take care of the mother and the children, and for to care for their living. So Master say this is called, and the volunteers, they say, they reply that the Bodhisattva path is difficult to walk, but it can be walked. So Master say this is the mastery of meditation and samadhi. So because our volunteers, they're so happy that seeing the mother and the children with peaceful smile on their face. Even though they came across the hardship with this family, so no matter anyone say about some bad thing or whatever, but yeah, we're still volunteers still willing to give to others help. So this is our Master say. To practice it, we need to let our mind be free of affliction and filled with full of love in our heart. So this is what Master is telling us. And the last but not least, as Master also telling us that we need to adopt the right view. So according to the Buddha, actually we do not get upset with people or situation. They both have a powerless in our reaction. Why I so say that? Because the Buddha say, if we to adopt the right view, so that we will become more aware of what we think, and then we need to inquire more deeply into why we think and what we think. Only then can we know if our thoughts are true or false or confused. So when our thoughts affect our daily decision and relationship deeply, so we should make a better decision in all aspects of our lives if we were clearer about the foundation of our own thinking. So, but yeah, the problem with it is that we tend to react quickly to things that happen around us. It's not that easy, but I think we need to strive our best to try to adopt the right view. So thank you for your listening, and And this is my sharing. And
yeah, thanks, Master Huang. Thank you for I think bringing up this very important question: samadhi and contemplation, meditation. What are the differences? So this is the question that I found to be that I wanted to get to today. And it sort of quite follows Master Zhe Huang said. The person asked, I don't know why, lately I have this feeling of wanting to listen only post Xun Fa Xiang. And the person asked, how do I find back the calling to attend morning Xun Fa Xiang? And I think this is exactly what is happening, in that I think in some ways there's a disconnect with the morning Xun Fa Xiang, because there is it's not affecting you enough, or it's not sinking into you enough, that the post Xun Fa Xiang, the way that we explain, the way that we interact, the way that, maybe it was Brother Chen or the families, when we are interacting with each other, then it makes it more fun and it makes it easier to receive. But nonetheless, the person is rightfully feeling that there's more desire and more fun to listen to post Xun Fa Xiang, and to get into that engagement, get into the discussion that is easier to feel and understand. Okay, so this is very akin to what we're watching right now from chapter 3, where the children are more willing to accept the car that was placed for them outside, but not the great white ox car. So it was the car that get them to come outside from the burning house, but they chose to keep the car that they saw first, but they didn't move on to the great white ox car. And it is perfectly understandable, because when we are not getting what we needed, then apparently it would take time. It would take time. So my response to whoever asked this question is, do not worry, do not lose faith. I think it's the more that you get into the post Xun Fa Xiang discussion, the more you're not try not to focus on the fact that we are not understanding, or we don't understand well enough, but rather, what are the insights that you get? What are the insights that you get out of the post Xun Fa Xiang? And then match it with, what do we listen to? So I would ask that whoever asked this question to reverse the order. So instead of listening to post Xun Fa Xiang after the morning Xun Fa Xiang, I would ask that instead, watch it first, listen and engage in the discussion in the post Xun Fa Xiang, and then watch it again. Do you see where some of the points that were talked about came from? Do you see where some of a simple story could actually arise? Many viewpoints and perspectives can come from there. And that's how we grow. That's how we gain, the perspective, going through the same happenings again. But now this time, the first time you watch, and then you listen to the discussion, and then you'll watch it again. Now you might be asking, well, I don't have time to watch it again. But if you didn't quite get it the first time, then it wasn't watching again, right? It will be watching it will be like watching the first time. Okay, so this is something that I would recommend, and that's what I usually do. When somebody came up with a sharing about a particular talk that I was also part of, then I would be asking myself, why is it that that person had this perspective or have that viewpoint that I didn't have? We listened to the same thing, but I didn't get the same thing they got. Why? And how did they get it? Oh, I see that they got it from this part. So that's how we can learn and remember that pathway. Okay. So that's how I feel about what we just saw. And so thanks to hang on. Okay. So I think it was from Master Zhe Huang. It was, I think, important to point out meditation and samadhi. And I also want to share this particular question that I thought were very, very similar to what Master De Huang was sharing today. So this person asked, quoting from before, seeing the differences between the 37 factors of enlightenment and the 6 parameters. And I think at the time, the person asked, 37 factors are internal and do not help us cross from one shore to another. If that's the case, can we just focus on 6 parameters? And what are the linkage between the two? Do bodhisattvas need to learn and practice the 37 factors of enlightenment to be enlightened? And I think it's a very good question, because I think I think it's now months ago, I once talked about a particular question and I answered it in this way. Maybe it was confusing, but to me, I think it's sort of like it reads up there, 2 sides of the same coin. What does that mean? To cross a river, you need to map out your course and you need a boat. Okay, so 37 factors of enlightenment and 6 parameters are exactly that. One of them is a boat. One of them is the course. So you need a boat and you need to chart a course. You need both of these. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. You have a course, a map, a course of how you're going to travel around the water, but you have no boat. Then you're not going to get very far. Or you have a boat, but you don't know where to go. You don't know how to do this, right? So that's exactly this. The boat, in this case, would sort of represent the 37 factors of enlightenment. You have a very solid boat. You have a very strong and sturdy canoe or boat or a ship that is very strong so that it can weather some of the waves, or it could go through some of the hardships of the elements, okay? But the 6 parameters are the path. It tells you, you know, the 6 different stages across so that it will take you safely from here across to the other side of the shore. So while they are not the same, you need both to cross. So you can't just do one without the other and say, well, if it's that, then I. And so that's what this is. Okay, so the time is up. So I think we're going to get into the second part. So thanks to Master who showed us, I think meditation is the way, the path, the tool, and the vehicle to help us. But samadhi is the course. Samadhi is the course that will guide us. So doesn't matter which way you want to take it. You know, you wanted to have samadhi as the tool and meditation as the path, or vice versa. I think either way is fine. But the most important thing is we know that we need all these tools with us at different times. And I think that's where the wisdom is. Okay, so thanks to Master Huang, and we're going to pass on to Sister Cheng for the remaining sharing. Thank you.
感恩 Brother Joe, Master De Huang, for the very, very wonderful insights today.感恩. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining us. 感恩 for your time. Today we have a very special sharer with us. Many would have known the home brother, Brother Vincent, the winner of the recently concluded Tasty Veggie Challenge. We know behind every successful man, there is a very successful straight lady. And today the sharer happens to be Sister LySha. She won't be teaching us a cooking skill today, but she will share with us a special journey, extraordinary journey of the son, Brian, together with the parents. Okay, let us welcome Sister LySha. Okay, Ka'an, over to you, Sister.
Sister Tzu Chi. Yeah, good evening to brothers and sisters. My name is LySha. Thank you for giving me this chance to share my Brian's, my special boy, and our family journey to Tzu Chi. Let me share my screen. Okay, so the picture over here is my Brian, who is 17 years old now. Yeah, he is big and tall, Physically, he's a big and tall young man, but in terms of ability, if brothers and sisters know him well or talk to him before, then you should know he is just like a small boy who are having age of 4 or 5, because he don't know how to read, he don't know how to write, and neither he have the concept of calculations and not even time, clock, and writing of 1, 2, 3 and ABC. Yeah, he will do a lot of repeat talking. He will ask and ask a lot of different questions. Again, after answer, again another questions. So he is now studying in a special need center at Starbucks. Okay. Next. Looking at this picture, guess how is he? He was 7 during that time, but he looked so small and skinny. His size is just like a 5 or 6 years old boy. He was not that healthy during the time. You know, he always gets sick. He always get high fever, and he admitted to hospital when he was 6 months old. He got sick. So upon after that, he allergic to fever medicines. He cannot take fever medicines, and whenever he got fever, then you know we need to sulfur because kind of hard to reduce the temperature. We need to use hot, cold water, towel, and Chinese medicine to cool him down. So it's very expensive and very costly, and in terms of energy wise, it's really hard to taking care of him during that time. Despite his health, he looked normal, right? He doesn't look special at all. So none of us were aware that he's a special kid until he was 5. And one of my friend who is a speech therapist, actually she pointed out to us and checked for us. She suspect he is a ADHD children or a hyperactive symptom, having the hyperactive symptom. So he advised us to go and see psychiatrists. And yes, psychiatric actually diagnosed him as ADHD when he was 5, and later diagnosed him as a global development delay, means the mentally he is lower than his age. To have a special kid as a special kid parents is not that easy. You know, we need to go through a lot of speech therapies, occupational therapies, and we need to find school, we need to find center for him. It's really a not easy journey, but we have my parents-in-law. They have been very supportive to us, to Brian's, because they love him so much. This is our family. Brian always we said he's a Xiaopusa. He's our angel. Last time before we joined, Tzu Chi will say Brian is like our angel in the house. Because of him, you know, our relationship of the member is closer, and you know we are having very good connection with each other. This is a family of mine, and because of Brian also, you know, from indoor we go outdoor. I cannot imagine, you know, if not because of him, we might have doing the shopping, karaoke, and cinemas, you know, during our weekends. But because of Brian, so our activity when he was 5, it will be always outdoor. Cycling is another one. He likes cycling so much. Cycling is good for him. It's good for all the special kids because it will help them to do the balancing, which is very important. And one very important thing also I have to share, because Brian actually, the only sport that he can play is bicycle. You know, he cannot play badminton, he cannot play ping pong and anything. So cycling is the only thing that can help him to release, you know, to release his energy, which also is helping him and helping us. We go very often doing cycling in most of our weekend. And also we will go out to have our jungle walk, going to hiking and everything. And this really bring up and build up our bonding to even to our boy of the 21 older brothers. Also, we enjoy all the natural. So this beside helping of Brian actually also help us, help our bonding to be built up during the family. Then more importantly, why I say I'm coming, actually why Brian is coming. Thanks to Brian, because of him, we got the opportunity to know and to join Tzu Chi. Brian liked to pick up rubbish, cans and everything. He liked recycling. So he know how to collect all the newspaper when he was very young. He will sell it, he will sell it to the van, the lorry that come and collect all the old newspaper. So he really enjoyed of doing all this. So when he was like 14, 15, we were thinking of looking for some additional activity for him during the weekend. We are looking for some good platform that it will help him and help us together. So since he liked cycling though, so we look around for all the cycling groups. Unfortunately, we don't manage to join any. Thanks and感恩 to my ex-boss, Sister Yvonne. She actually encouraged us and introduced us to Tzu Chi Recycle Center. He invited us to go to the monthly Tzu Chi days. We also don't make it because during that time, due to other reasons, especially on the eastern, so we don't make it happen also. So we have been waited for a while until around 2018, the end of 2018. There was one Saturday after our breakfast in a restaurant nearby our Bandar Sri Damansara Tzu Chi Recycle Center. I suddenly asked my home brother Vincent, I said, shall we try? I was waiting for the answer. Why I asked these questions to him, because I know he don't really have a very good impressions on Tzu Chi. Because like when he was searching for the special school for Brian, Jing Si Tang Tzu Chi told him that they are not offering any special class for special children. So, the disappointment made him having some not so positive impressions. But surprisingly, during that day, he said, yeah, why not? And yeah, on that day, we go into Bandar Sri Damansara Tzu Chi Recycle Center. Sister Emmy was the one to actually greet us and brief us during that day. He tell us and share about the activity in the recycle center. And I asked her, can we join? Can Brian join a special kid? She said, yes, we are welcome to join. You see? So she encouraged us to go on Saturday. So from that Saturday onwards, actually, we go every Saturday without fail. And from the Tzu Chi Center, actually, we learn a lot. We enjoy and we really thanks to Sister Amy, Sister Maggie, and Brother Mercy, and all others, brothers and sisters in Recycle Center. They give us a very warm welcome, and they don't give us the pressure or the impressions of last time to see pushing people, to join all this. It doesn't happen to us at all. We were so comfortable to be there. We were so enjoying to do all our recycle activity. And in the center, we learned that the greatness of Tzu Chi Recycle Center, besides helping the environment, besides helping the society, besides helping the people that needs money to help them, need our donations, we also help a lot of elderly volunteer, give a very good platform or place for them to contribute, to work in the recycle. So it is really a good time over in the center. to Brian, it will be even better. He loved it so much, is it? He will be so happy to be in the recycle center, doing sorting, eating, and after that, even the lorry ride, that he's like, it's wonderful to him. He will refuse to join our family trip to outstation or even to overseas. His choice is still weekend, Saturday, go to recycle center. You see? So we are so glad we have the passionate on that. And I would tell also one of the Saturday, it's around this time, the year end, November, December time, I was very busy with my office duty. So I got no choice. I cannot bring Brian to go along, but Brian insists wanted to go. So my home brother Vincent got no choice. I have to go and bring him to recycle center. From that onwards, my home brother Vincent also, he changed his mind. When he get to know more about Tzu Chi, about recycle center, he changed his mind. From last time, the experience of why Tzu Chi is not helping a special kids, right? Until he understand that, what we can do together in Tzu Chi to help others people is really a change. Okay, this is another picture of Brian. This is when all the uncle and auntie, Sibo, Siku is having lunch together. He will quietly finish out and he'll go and do his sorting. So you have the initiative to do his sorting by himself, and you motivate him. By then, actually, he's very confident on doing his recycling. This is important to all the special kids, the confidence. This picture shows Brian's favorite heroes. These are the Sibo that ride on the lorry. Brian liked lorry very much. He's always very admired to all the Sibo can drive the lorry to the recycle factory. He liked it so much, but at the beginning we don't dare to get him go along with them, because Brian doesn't have the ability, and actually he can't even have the safety knowledge. We have the worry. But in one of the discussion or conversation between my home brother Vincent and Tzu Chi, Tzu Chi was telling us and advised that we should let go. We should let others, Siku, Sibo, uncle, auntie, to help Brian, to guide Brian's, and slowly, when we are comfortable, we let Brian join. We let Brian go to the factory with all the uncle. He enjoyed that very much. And we know Tzu Chi Recycle Center is really a good platform for him. It's so positive. All the brothers and sisters are so caring and so patient to him. It's not easy to communicate with a special kid. He will ask you all kind of questions, all kind of funny questions. So I really thanks all the brothers and sisters, in helping us to take care of Brian, especially during the recycle time. This is where Brian is helping to prepare the monthly recycle day. We have a recycle point just in front of my house, not far away. So Brian will always be the very early one, earlier than us, to get ready to go to recycle. So he's good in doing recycle now. He's good in doing sorting. But again, he will always ask, can this be recycled? Can this be recycled? Can that be recycled or not? It just comes from the nature. He has that, he was doing all this kind of repeat sentence. But he built up his confidence over there. See, he would do whatever he liked on cleaning up the lorry and cleaning up the recycle center. This is what he loved. He's really can earn on that. Okay, we have a recycle corner at home. This one especially for him, especially during the MCO time. he will spend a lot of time in doing his washing, sorting of recycle. And we are taking these opportunities also. We train him to talk to the neighbor, to talk to the auntie and uncles when people give him the resources. So Brian also learning up to talk to the uncles and auntie, telling them about what can be recycled and what cannot be. You see, he's so focused. He's so focused doing this kind of recycling. And my own brothers also helped to set up a recycle corner in the Big True Special Needs Center. So in the center, Brian became the leader. He lead the children to do recycling. So, his positive energy is really help to promote, to encourage more and more people doing recycling around us. These are some of the pictures that we took during our recycle trip, during our a trip to Sabah, Vietnam. It's a sightseeing trip. But when Brian actually requested us to let him do recycle during the journey, So, he wanted to do recycle, so he picked up the rubbish by giving him the glove, so he picked up the rubbish along all the way. The tourists and the local is so touched when seeing Brian's willingness and Brian's ability to help to clean up the place. I remember Master Sang have mentioned before, recycling is just like Chao San Ding Li. Chao San Ding Li. It's like whenever we bend our body to pick up a bottle or pick up a paper, this is where the piety shown. We will show our piety on that. So I can Brian have this passionate on recycle, and I hope he can influence more and more people in doing recycling. Okay, why we go veggie? I started to reduce the meat intake before MCO. I mean before March, because of my health problems. But during the MCO, we have a lot of sharing. We watch a lot of TVs about the vegetarians, the goodness of vegetarian, and we have increased a lot of knowledge on recycle and even in the vegetarians. So, previously we have a belief, at least I have the belief of, taking meat is okay. Why not? Because this is just within a food cycle chain, right? It's a chain, so we eat meat. But upon knowing more and more knowledge on this vegetarian and the pollution of our world now, so we get to know, it's so critical now, and I guess the damage is too huge, and we got no choice, but we really, at least a big portion of us should start to stop taking meat, right? So by taking meat, we will lessen the pollutions of the world, right? So I totally agree. We totally agree with Master saying, 非素不可. I guess we have to truly on vegetarians. So after we go on vegetarians, actually, we would like Brian also to join us for his health. And we also believe by taking vegetarians, I hope, his temper, his aggressiveness can be controlled more easily, right? But we do have to worry, because we worry Brian don't accept. Surprisingly, when we ask about this, when we talk about this suggestion to him, he accepted. I believe, the whatever sharing of vegetarian, of recycle and pollution in Dai TV, in all the brothers and sisters sharing, was go into his heart. He easily accepted. So from there, in April 2020, three of us started our vegetarian diet. And Brian, he gave up all his favorite food, fried chicken, Kentucky, McDonald's, without any complaints. See, he even tell us he can still go to McDonald's, but taking french fries and ice cream. See, this is really good. This is really感恩. And he even go to his center. During that time, it's still okay to go back to the center. So when he go back to the center, he told the teacher, he is vegetarian. He don't take meat. He's a recycle people. So he said, I want to cancel meat. Cancel meat to him is he doesn't want to take meat at all. He will pick up all the meat and throw away. You see, his actions actually also influence his best friend in center. So the best friend also taking vegetarian in center now. Sometimes Brian's is very naive. He will be very direct. Sometimes he will talk to my in-law and even the friends or auntie, uncle around and ask, why you guys are still eating meat? Why are you killing animals? Why are not listening to Master Sangren? Why you don't love the earth? It's very naive, but it's so direct and it's so right. So he always inform people he is a recycle people. He is a recycle volunteer. So he must take vegetarians. Yeah. I remember in one of the sharing by Brother Joe was saying, our Tzu Chi culture and communication is so important. The ITV give us so much of positive directions to all of us. And I totally agree. I believe, with that, our family have transformed. To earlier, we might say we don't know about the goodness of vegetarians. We didn't want to know too much, or we will say maybe the pollution is still far away from me. It's not me to make it. We didn't want to so-called relate that to us. But because of the sharing, because of the knowledge that we have, then we change. We know this is near us, and we have the actions to be done now. So we believe, the continuations of sharing the vegetarian awareness is so important. This is the winning dish of my home brother Vincent. This is the first prize. It's called Masak Merah Simbau Gu. Actually, this is a conversion or new version of Ayam Masak Merah. It's a very popular dish in Malay society. So my home brother actually have changed the chicken to mushroom. So we hope by doing so, when we share to our Malay friends and Malay society, then it will bring up their awareness, and they will get to know more about vegetarians, the goodness of vegetarians. Brian is cooking on vegetarians. Yeah, his favorite food last time is makute, a very famous soup in Malaysia, Singapore. Is come from pork, rib, and herbs. Brian actually had changed it to bakute vegetarian food. He changed it to mushroom, beancurd, vegetables, and he still love it. He still love the bakute also. This is not bakute that I'm showing. Actually, this is a way he was preparing. He was preparing the ingredients for his center cook-up class. So he will change the ingredient given by the teacher from all the meat base to all the vegetarian base. And he will enjoy all this. Jing Si Yu for Brian's. Brian's is now 17. He is actually undergoing the teenagers rebelling stage. His emotion, his temper, his hormone is changing, and it's kind of hard to control. Luckily, and Gan-en, he respect Master Sangren, and he respect all the Sibo, Siku, the uncle, auntie. So we are taking this, we are using all these Jing Si from and wisdom from Master to guide him, and we remind him whenever he's angry, whenever he's shouting, whenever he's giving all kind of naughty behavior, we will talk to him. We will say, where is your Indian Sing? Where is your good heart? Whenever I say, where is your Indian Sing? He will point, he will say, Indian Sing. Then he will stop. Whenever he's shouting or say something bad, he will say, 口说好话. He will follow. And, he has a habit to peel his fingernail, to cut it until bleeding. So one of the sisters have taught us and share this to him, saying he had to use his beautiful hand, to do recycle. The one that I show here, the Jing Si saying 以鼓掌的双手做回收. So we make use of this because he like recycle. So we have to always remind him he cannot get his finger injured, because otherwise he doesn't have the 美丽双手. His finger won't be beautiful, and he will stop. And so this one is really happening to him, and he always like to ask the same questions. When can he go back to recycle center? Why the COVID is still here? Why the COVID don't want to go away? So we'll remind him that, the God is waiting. The God will make magic. If you see everybody's are positive, everybody are doing their recycling, everybody is doing prayer, and everybody is taking vegetarians. So all these are the Jing Si and all the wisdom that we get from Sangren to teach him, and he worked to Brian's. The same thing actually working to us. I sincerely say that thank you. Really can't earn, to be a mother, to be a parent of special need kids is really, really challenging. After one you will have another, after another you will have third thing. So a couple of Jing Si over here is our favorite, and it's always in our mind whenever we are down. You see, in the face of difficult, just wholeheartedly do our best with all our strength and effort. We need this. Let go. Learn to let go all the worries. By then only, we will appreciate the happiness of compassionate hearts. Another one, know our blessing. Cherish them and sow more blessing to others. All this is always in our hearts. It helps us to go through a lot of difficulty, and when we are down, it's really helpful to us. And I hope Brian, can grow with us in the Tzu Chi and in the Buddha Dharma. I really can't earn all the 师兄师姐, brother, sister, and especially my Brian, myself, Buddha. You lead us to Tzu Chi. And I wish we can be the seeds, one of the seeds that can further spread the goodness of Buddha Dharma, of Tzu Chi, of recycling and vegetarians. Kanan. pass back to you.
谢谢，LySha师姐，非常感恩，那你对孩子这一份的爱，真的非常令人的感动。那上人说，以爱化爱，就是有这份的爱心，就没有障碍。能够帮助孩子这样子快乐的成长、健康的成长，那同时也让你这样子能够除了增长这样的福，也能够增长这样的慧，那你们才能够去做环保。那目前环保是我们现在世界上最需要的，对，那能够由你们这样子的来带动，那我相信也可以启发更多人，也能够来这样子的帮助这个地球，同时也能够行善助人。那真的在你身上真的让我们可以感受到说母亲对孩子这一份的爱真的非常令人感动。那我们同时祝福你们全家都能够更幸福，然后更健康，然后能够更快乐，同时祝福你们也能够福慧增长，感恩哦。
感恩师父。
Okay, due to the time is already past 9, so I think it's time for us to keep silent section. So thank you for giving us a chance, to join this section. Thank you. Okay, good night.
Okay, 感恩师父 for the wonderful 叮咛 insights. 感恩 Brother Joe for the wonderful replies to our questions, and 感恩 Sister LySha for the most heartfelt